guys, it's Melissa from Melissa's Creations coming to you live on Facebook for Stamping Saturday Session 1. Woohoo! I'm so excited to get started today. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to log into the video, find where I am. This is a live broadcast, so I want to make sure that people can start to trickle in so that I have some people to demonstrate to. So, I just wanted to let you guys know that yesterday was my 1-year Stampiversary with Stampin' Up! Since I rejoined. I am so excited. I couldn't be happier to be back with a company that I love, doing what I love to do, making cards and being crafty. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator on and off for over 10 years, and I couldn't stay away this last time. You can read all about my story over on my website, melissascreations.com. The latest blog post has that information in it. And because it's my 1-year Stampiversary, I am offering you guys a special. If you place an order with me today, any size order, it can be $5, it can be $105, but if you place an order with me today, you will receive, upon eligibility to redeem a voucher from me, my rewards program, upon eligibility, you will get $10 extra in Melissa's Creations cash. So instead of 15, you get 25. So just a quick recap on that. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining. My rewards program, if you spend $250 with me before shipping and tax, you get $15 in Melissa's Creations cash back. Hi, Alicia. Thanks for joining. So, because that's my rewards, anybody that places an order with me today, you don't have to make that $250 today. You can take up to a year to earn that. But if you place an order today, any size order, when you're ready to redeem your voucher, I will give you an extra $10. So it'll be $25 instead of $15. That's to celebrate my 1-year Stampiversary with Stampin' Up! Today. So if you guys have any questions on that, if it's a little confusing, head over to melissascreations.com. That first blog post, you'll be able to read a little bit more about that special I'm running. You can read up on my rewards program, find my customer tracking sheet, all that good stuff. Also, letting you guys know that today is, well, it started, what was it, yesterday or December 1st, the year-end closeout, up to 60% off hundreds of items. So if you haven't checked that out yet, make sure you get in on that. You can click the Shop Now link on this Facebook page, or you can also go to, if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, go into the description box below, or just head over to melissascreations.com and click on Shop Now. And one last order of business before we get started and get into our Stamping Saturday and making some samples. Cheryl, oh, you temptress, that's right. Before we get into the samples, one last thing. I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware that now is a really great time to join up with me and my team. If you do join, you are able to add all of those sale items to your starter kit, and you get to start ordering out of the Occasions catalog and start pre-earning your celebration items right now. So if you have been thinking about joining, or if you just haven't thought about it at all and want to take the plunge anyway, you could be a kidnapper and just get it for the great deal and get a discount on top of it. Or you can turn it into a business, or you can just do it as a hobby. There are so many options. There's no obligation. It's a $99 starter kit. That includes shipping, and you get a free paper pumpkin with it. I mean, yes, hello. And you get $125 worth of products. So really great deal. Sign up with me. Join Melissa's Creators. We are a growing team, and I am so excited about that. All right. Let's dive into some samples. The first one I have for you today is called Cloud 9. Now I know it's backwards. It'll be right way around when I turn the camera around. But this is the sample, and it has gorgeous gold glitter. And if you notice, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it kind of matches my nails. These are Jamberry wraps that I just put on not too long ago. And so I was inspired by my wraps to do this card. So I'm really excited to get into that. And then the second sample that I have for you today for session 1 is this super cute easel card, half easel. This was inspired by Dawn Griffith. I saw her do a YouTube on this card. I changed a lot. I changed almost everything about it except for how you do the base of it. So that is the second sample we are going to be making today. Both of these, and what's great about this is that this is how it looks when you set it up, but it tucks under here so that you can still mail it flat. Isn't that great? That is so awesome. So it's a 3D card when the recipient gets it and puts it together, but you can mail it to them flat. So super excited about that. Both of these cards use Paisleys Posies bundle. So I'm going to be showing you guys that today. I think that's pretty good. All right, you can see up here at the top, melissascreations.com. That is my website. It's my 1-year Stampiversary, and in celebration, use this hostess code when you place your order today, and only for today, any size order that's placed when you are ready to redeem your Melissa's Creations cash, you get an extra $10, so $25 instead of $15. So make sure you use that hostess code. Allow me to contact you upon checkout. And if you're not familiar with Melissa's Creations Cash, head over to my website and click on the rewards page. You can read more about it there. Okay, here is Cloud 9, my Cloud 9 inspired. Be right back, have to help Dad with Christmas tree. All right. All right, so Cloud 9 inspired, we have gorgeous gold. I love how that just shimmers. This is all gold, white and gold. That is it. And I'm going to show you how to get this really fun little scallop on the edge of our sentiment here. So let's get started. Okay, set this right here so you guys can reference that. And here are my materials. I have a standard white card base that measures 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to score it in the middle at 4 1/4. And this isn't scored yet. You could score it before you folded it, but you can also, this is just the basic Whisper White. It's not the thick cardstock, it's the regular. So it's pretty easy to just fold in half and use your bone folder to get a nice crease on that. Okay. Next up, I have a piece of Whisper White. This piece measures 4 by 5 1/4, and that's just going to go right on top like that once we're ready. I have 2 more pieces of Whisper White. This piece, the width of it measures 1 3/4 wide. Let me double check. 1 1/4. I wrote that down wrong. 1 1/4 wide. Let me fix that real quick so that when I go to do my notes, everything is right. All right. Now, it doesn't necessarily matter how long it is, just as long as, I know, Patty, isn't that card gorgeous? I love it too. Just as long as you can get your whole sentiment on it, because we're going to be cutting out the scallops on the edges. So 1 1/4 inches wide on that. And we need a scrap piece of Whisper White to cut out our medallions right here. So I also have a piece of gold glimmer paper. Oh, so shiny. I love it. This piece measures 3 inches by 4 3/4. And you need another scrap of gold glimmer to cut out one of these fantastic Paisleys. And that's going to go on the inside of our card. I've already pre-cut this just to save a little bit of time because I am going to be cutting some other things as well. And then finally, a piece of gold baker's twine. This is in the trio pack from the holiday catalog, and that may not be around very much longer. And I have to double check. It might be while supplies last. So if you want to get some of this gorgeous gold baker's twine, head over and put it in your shopping cart right now. Get ready to check out because that might go quick. All right, we're going to do some stamping, and then we're going to do some embossing, and then we're throwing this card together. It goes together pretty quick, too. All right, I am going to start by stamping on my scrap pieces here. Get my other pieces out of the way. So, Paisleys Posies bundle. Oh my goodness, you guys. So fantastic. Here is the stamp set with all of those gorgeous Paisleys and flowers and sentiments. This is perfect for all occasions, and I have several cards that I've already done. You can check them out on my YouTube channel. And then here are these gorgeous framelits. So many options and opportunities. Love it. let's grab a couple of stamps out of here and grab a couple clear blocks. See which ones I might need. I have a plethora of clear blocks out here. So this is the D size, and on that, I'm going to mount, let's see, I'm going to mount this circle guy. We're going to do one of these circles, and then we're also going to do this little tiny circle. I'll put him on the smallest block here. I have my sentiment. My world is brighter and more beautiful because of you. Gosh, that's such a pretty sentiment, don't you think? Love it. All right, and those are the only 3 stamps we're using today. I'm really tempted to do another layer on my medallion and do this one too. Why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. It's not on this card, but I think that would look really gorgeous layered together. Okay. So I have my Versamark ink. I have some gold Stampin' emboss powder, my embossing buddy, and then you can just use a card base. You could use the card base you're using and put your items on that and then sprinkle your powder on here so that you can put it back into your tub, or a Tupperware of some sort or some type of a tray. I'm using a tray that is retired. This used to be a Stampin' Up! Product, but it's not available anymore. Sometimes they do that. They have products that you can get for a limited time. So make sure you don't dilly-dally if you really enjoy a product. I'm going to use my embossing buddy on my Scrap Whisper White here, and also on this piece for my sentiment. It's filled with a powder type substance, and it just really helps make sure that your powder doesn't stick to anywhere other than where you put the Versamark. Okay, so Versamark Watermark ink. I'm going to do one of my medallions on the corner here. I'll do another one right here. And one last little baby guy right down here. Okay, so I'm going to do my sentiment in a minute, but before that ink dries too much, I really want to make sure that I get my powder on it. So bring in my tray, spread some of that powder on there, woo, and give it a couple of flicks. Yes, work powder, love it. Okay, see how gorgeous? Yay! All right, so I can do my sentiment now, so I can do them both at the same time and then clean up once. All right, so Versamark again on my sentiment here. Make sure it's nice and juicy. And we're just going to put that right in the middle of the middle, if that makes any sense. And let me line it up with my grid paper just to make sure. The block is a little crooked, so I'm lining it up with the stamp. Yes. I can see it if it's tilted in just the right light. You can see it just slightly. So I'm going to bring that back in, and you can either scoop the powder onto it like this, or you can pour some more powder, whichever. And then just give it a couple of flicks, and look at how gorgeous. Yes. Okay, now we are ready to do our heat embossing part with our heat tool. Love this tool. Okay, so it's gonna be a little noisy for a minute, but you guys chat amongst yourselves. Let me know what you think so far. What's your favorite technique? Give me some feedback so I can give you guys some shout outs. I love hearing from all of you. And if you're just now joining us, let me know who you are, where you're from. Always love to interact with you guys. Look at how that's changing. Can you see that change? Yes. A little bit more on that UL. BEA, beautiful. Okay, now we'll do our medallions. This heat tool gets very, very warm, so make sure you try and keep your little fingers out of the way. So pretty. Oh, it's one of my favorite cards. Love it so much. One more little guy here, and we'll be done. Boom. Okay. There is all of the embossing. Let me set some of this stuff out of the way because we will be bringing in the big shot now. Here we go. All right. Big Shot die cutting machine with the magnetic platform. All right, these pads are well loved, as you can see. I need to get some new ones, but they are still perfectly good. Sometimes they warp a little bit, so if that happens, every time you pass your plates through your cutter, flip them over, and that will help to prevent them from warping too badly. Okay, we're going to start with these medallions here and bring out my framelits. Hi, Rebecca. Thanks for joining. Perfect timing because I have my Jamberry wraps on that was my inspiration for this card that we're making right now. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so I'm going to grab this circle. And because I have my magnetic platform, makes it super easy to line up and make sure I have it exactly where I want it. And next, let's see, I think it's this little guy. Let's give that a try right around here. He's got a little bit of sticky on him, so I gotta just turn him. There we go. And the last one, this tiny guy right here. Thanks, Rebecca. Oh, that one's like a little flower guy. Oh, I punched him out with something else, but look, here's one right here that we can use. The little circle goes around him. Oops, just perfect. Sometimes these magnets can be a little tricky. So if it doesn't cut out on this pass, I'll go through on the next one. Yeah, let's go through on the next one for him. Okay, so I have my magnets on my magnetic platform and my framelits on there. You hear that crack? Perfectly normal. Hi, Sim. Thanks for joining. If you guys are just now joining and you haven't left a comment yet, let me know who you are, where you're from. Love to talk to you guys, give you a shout out. So look at how that just cuts out that medallion. So beautiful. And our other medallion. Set those two aside so we can build that. And now I'm going to show you guys how I got that really cool scallop onto my sentiment. So we are going to cut the circle guy out. So I'll get that going. Set that where it wants to sit down. You can also use the owl builder punch to punch out the little guy. I know he's off frame right there. We go. You could use the owl builder punch. There's one of the circles in there that fit that also. Okay, and now here's our sentiment. And to get that scallop around the edges right here, double duty. I love it when my items can do more than one thing at a time. I'm going to grab this guy, right? And I'm going to slide him right inside, just like that. And then position it. Get it where I want it to go. And I think right there is good. So then I'm going to set that down on my magnetic platform with my little circle guy. And then when I put my cutting plate on, I only want to cut a portion of it. So I'm going to put it right where I want it to cut. I don't want it to go too far because then it will emboss and make another line. So let's see if I can, normally I do this the other direction. So hopefully I can get this to work without messing up. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to go the other direction. Hold on a sec. Hold on. Let me put it in this way. That'll work better. Okay. Get my circle guy back on there. And this is the part that takes the longest, but I wanted to show you guys this process. So he might have to be punched out. He's going to be a little pill. So I'm going to put my cutting plate in and I'm just going to put it to where I want it to cut. So then shove it through your machine and boom, cuts the side. And there is our scallop edge right like that. Gorgeous. No thanks to the dogs. I'm missing your convo. Symphony joined. Sleepyhead. No thanks to that. You guys are fun. All right, so let me do the other side real quick. Put that in, line that up where I want it to go. About right there. Okay, and slide that plate in just to where I want it to cut. And boom. And we have a really gorgeous, beautiful scalloped sentiment. There it is. Yay! All right, setting that aside for a moment, I need to get my punch out so I can punch that little circle guy. He's just a little too small. He wants to move on that magnetic platform real bad. So we will go an alternate route for him. Let me grab all my pieces back in here. All right, while I'm getting out my punch, don't forget, get your catalogs out so we can play our game at the end. If you don't have a paper copy, you can download one at melissascreations.com. Just go to the Shop Now link and you will be able to see the catalogs at the very bottom, both the annual and the holiday. All right, so Owl Builder Punch, getting my little tiny guy punched out here. There he is, right there. More than one way to skin a cat. I never really liked that saying because who would want to skin a cat? I don't understand this craziness. All right, put my scraps in my scrap bin and bring everything back out because we are ready to assemble our Cloud9 inspired card. Yay, so excited. All right, card base. Gold glitter. Oh, there's one more thing. I forgot one last detail to our embossing, and that is this gold rim around our card here. The Batman of Craft Supplies. That's right. Yes, I love it. I have so many supplies and tools, and I bring them out every once in a while and show you guys. That is a really, really fun thing. Batman of Craft Supplies. How fun is that? So I'm just taking that card and I'm just running the edge right along my Versamark. And you want to do that on each side. So I'm going to do 2 sides at a time. And once again, bring in your gold embossing powder. Scoop just on the edges there that you put that Versamark. Okay, just like that. We're going to heat up 2 sides at a time, just so that when we go to do our other corners, we have a really good connection. So again, I'm going to heat emboss real quick. Now that our gun is warmed up, our heat tool is warmed up, we should be able to get going pretty quickly on this. There it goes. Do you see it changing? With that gorgeous shimmer. There we go, and down the side here. Like magic. Oh, oh, it's magic. You know, I'm in a singing mood today, so pardon me while I whip this tune out with my very bad singing voice. All right, let's do the other 2 edges. And you know what? I don't want this to be perfect. I want it to be a little messy. So I'm just kind of doing however I want. Doing a little bit stronger in some areas and a little thinner in others. All right, looking good. Give it another flick just to get any of that excess powder off. And one more round with the heat tool. There it goes. Goes a lot faster once it's warmed up. Magic. Yes. All right. Now we have our gorgeous gold border. We are ready to slap this card together. All right. Get those off to the side. And the first thing I'm going to do is glue down my gorgeous gold glimmer paper with some fast fuse to my base. This does look like a bat tool, doesn't it? Some sort of bat device, Batman. I need a utility belt now, or I guess it would be a utility craft apron. I have one of those. All right, so we're going to put this right in the middle, and I really liked the way that it had thicker on the bottom and the top than on the sides. I'm really into that look lately, which you'll probably see in a couple of my other cards at some point. All right, now I'm going to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals. Now these are some that came in one of my paper pumpkins. I used up all the other supplies in the kit, but I didn't use up my adhesives, so reusing those. Love how my paper pumpkin kit gives me a plethora of other supplies to choose from. So now I'm going to put that down here towards the bottom. Let's build up our medallion. So I'm going to pop up this middle piece with a dimensional and put him right in the middle like this. And then I'm going to grab a mini glue dot and get that little tiny middle guy. Now what I like to do is I like to build this up. So I'm actually going to put 3 glue dots underneath it just so that it gives it a little bit more dimension without being too high like a dimensional would be. Okay, there. Now it looks flat for you guys probably. You can't really see too much, but in person you have that nice dimension happening. Love it. Okay, so now I am going to use some mini glue dots to adhere that flat down. You could raise it up too, but if you're going to mail this like I am, you want to keep it relatively flat so that it can go through the postal service without too many issues. Okay, we're going to set that right on top here. Oh, I love it. Okay, now I'm going to get my bow started. So 1 bunny ear, 2 bunny ear, and it doesn't really matter with the baker's twine or the, yeah, I guess this is baker's twine, how you tie your bow, because it's just flat basically. It's not like ribbon that you need to see a pretty knot or anything, but there's that. Trim off the tails, my paper snips, snip, snip, and again, another mini glue dot. This time I'm going to kind of fold it in half, kind of roll it up on itself a little bit. Put that right down here on my bottom of my sentiment. Get that right there. Good. Lovely. Love it. Oh, I love it. Okay, we're almost ready. You could also pop this up with dimensionals, which is what I did on my original card. You can see there. But I am going to do this flat just so that you can see kind of how you can get different layers of dimension using different products. So a little bit of snail on the back of this guy, a little tiny bit in the middle. Bring my card base in and center that up on front. Boom. Gorgeous. All right, last finishing touch to put our paisley on the inside. I am going to use my fine tip liquid glue pen. You want to make sure that you always replace the cap promptly so that it doesn't dry and get stuck in that tube. So I'm just going to put a couple of dabs all the way around here. It doesn't really take much at all. And then I'm just going to put a couple little, I'm just barely touching it with the residual glue on the tip. And then, let's see, which way? I want to go this way. And then make sure you let that sit for a minute. I like to take some type of an ink pad, nothing very, very heavy, but something with a little weight to it. And I just set it right on top so it has a moment to adhere. Be dry. Yes, we are good. Nice adhesion on there. And throw away these little guys. There we go. Our first sample. What do you guys think? Isn't that so much fun? Oh, love it. Love it so much.
All
okay.
right.
Yes. All right. Fantastic. Now, on to the next card. This is the fun half easel card. This, I did case the basic layout of how you make the card from Dawn Griffith. I saw her YouTube on that. So fantastic. I decorated mine completely different. It folds flat so you can mail it, but it also pops up into a half easel. So cute. Love it. Yes. And it has silver glimmer paper instead of the gold. We're going with silver. Symphony says I would, but I just woke up and I'm barely having my first cup of coffee. Just woke up. It's 10:40, lady. My goodness. Oh, wow. Time is going quick. Already 40 minutes in. All right. So let's get started on this fun easel card. And this is actually Symphony and Patty's thank you card. Surprise, you guys. This is your thank you card. Alexandra, it's so good. I'm the boss. I'm watching you from work. Yay! You should invite all of your coworkers to come and watch too. All of the people that work for you. Have a stamping Saturday. All right, so with this beautiful easel card, I did a coordinating envelope. Now, you would do this envelope for if you were handing it to somebody instead of mailing it, but I used the Scenic Sayings stamp set to stamp this gorgeous thank you so much sentiment. Love it. And it just coordinates beautifully. And I liked the thank you with the thank you on the card. And this is a thank you card I'm giving for a thank you. So very cool. Okay. On to the supplies that we are using on this card. We have those right here. Okay. So I have my Whisper white card base. That is a standard card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5. I've scored it in the middle at 4 1/4. And then what you're going to do, now I've already done it. I've already done half of it, but I'll bring out my Stampin' trimmer so that you guys can see. Okay. By the way, this is a Stampin' trimmer, $30 in the catalog before shipping and tax. FYI, if anybody needs ideas for their order today, remember, if you place any size order today, you will get 10 extra Melissa's Creations cash dollars when you go to redeem your reward. More details on my website, melissa's-creations.com. Okay, so you would normally score this right here with the scoring blade. This has a cutting blade and a scoring blade. So the scoring blade, you would score it at 4 1/4. And then you're going to rotate it. This is the front of my card. And I'm going to line it up at 2 3/4. And I'm going to cut all the way down until I get to that score line in the middle. That will give me my little legs. Okay. So then if this is the front of my card, this is the back of my card. So it would be like this. On the left piece, this piece here, we want to do another score. So get my cutting blade out of the way. You don't want to accidentally cut. So I'm going to put this back in. So my score line is here. The front of my card is on this side. And I'm just going to score to the cut. I'm going to line this up with 2 1/8. That's half of the width of the front of the card. And then I'm going to score just down to where my cut line is. Okay. So now you can see, maybe, if the lighting is right, there's my score line right in the middle there, and I have my score here, and it's cut here. Okay? So that's the card base. Easy as pie. So simple. Grab your bone folder. You do want to make sure you have pretty precise cuts and burnishes on here. So in half, and then do the other half. And then we're going to do the little leg, the little pop-up part. Okay? We'll do this one more time so he sits flat. Oh, her phone is behind and she will watch with me. Okay, that's fine. No worries. Hopefully, I think my connection's been okay. Is the screen okay for you guys? Are you having any difficulties with buffering or anything like that? My internet sometimes does not want to participate with me, so I have to kind of work with it sometimes. All right, fast fuse. And on the flat right-hand leg of our front of our card, I'm going to put some fast fuse on there, and we're actually going to adhere that straight down. Okay, so just fold that over and glue it right down. So now it is not going anywhere. Okay. The other pieces that we have include, let me get all these tiny little guys. I did use some of the framelits on this card as well, and I'll explain those pieces in a minute, but I pre-cut them to save a little bit of time because I knew that first card would take us a little bit. So I have 3 pieces of designer series paper. The first piece will go here. This stuff is awesome. This is in the Brights collection. This is Bermuda Bay. We have our words on one side, polka dots on the other. This is going to be glued right here. This piece measures 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. Is that right? I think so. Yes. I don't know why I'm getting all discombobulated. I need more coffee too, apparently. Okay. So again, that's 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. Then I have another piece, and I am going to use the words on here. And this is going to be down here. This little piece right here, you can cut these at the same size, but I just used the scraps that I had left over. The height on this piece doesn't matter so much because your easel will kind of cover up the front of it. But this piece measures 2 5/8 by 1 3/4. So this is 1 3/4 inches high here. So those will go here. And then my last piece that goes here, this piece measures 2 5/8 by 2. Okay, so we're just going to glue all those pieces down. So again, fast fuse. You could also use your snail, whatever you prefer. I prefer fast fuse. I love it. It is super strong and it glides lovely. I know some people have some issues with their fast fuse, and it's not like snail. Like snail, you want to put your finger up here and you want to push really hard. It's very gentle. This is a very gentle process with the fast fuse. You don't push hard at all. You don't have to grab it very hard either. I'm just barely gliding that right across, and it just comes out beautifully. Every once in a while, I'll get a little bit of glue on the edge there, and it'll kind of stop on me, but just give it a little TLC. It'll be just fine. Okay, and put our polka dots up here. This card goes together really quick once you have your pieces cut out. So now I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and again, I am using the sentiment, "My world is brighter and more beautiful because of you." I just love it. I have my Bermuda Bay Classic stamp pad. And ink that up. Make sure we get it nice and inky. And line this up with my grit paper so I get it straight. And down and up. See, I think I missed a comment here. "My 15-year-old is my worker and she's not interested." Oh, darn. She will be. Let her get a little older. She'll get there. Okay, so there's my sentiment. Beautiful. Now I'm going to adhere this to a piece of, oh, I don't know if I gave you guys the measurement on this white piece. This piece measures 1 inch by 4 3/4. I have a piece of Bermuda Bay that measures 1 1/4 by 5, so it's just 1/4 of an inch bigger on each dimension. And we'll just set that right down on top of that. Okay. And I'm going to grab my, I'm not going to use dimensionals, surprisingly. I'm going to use my foam adhesive strips. These are actually perfect for shaker cards, but I found that they worked really well on this card too, because we only want to put this adhesive on this side, because when we put it down, we don't want it to stick to this. We want to be able to get our flap in and out. Okay, so I am just going to line this up with my grid paper so I make sure I'm going to get it centered and in the right place, because I don't want it to go past this middle line. I'm going to take some scissors and just measure out how much I think I'm going to need. So about right here is going to be good. And I just need 3 pieces. I got all those done and cut in one go. So put one on the bottom. Put one on the top. And one in the middle. There we go. Okay, now I can get that onto my card, and we have one more thing to stamp, and then we'll put the rest of our embellishments on the front. And don't forget, we're going to play some more games. Okay, so again, I'm using my grid paper to line up my card, and I'm going to put this right about 1/4 of an inch, so about 1/4 of an inch card shows on the sides and at the bottom. Okay, and then make sure your piece slides in and out. Beautiful, still sits up. That's what we like to see. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to flip this over so I can stamp my sentiment right here. Now, I want to make sure that my sentiment is hidden behind this. So if you're not sure where you want to place it, I would stamp it first, and then you'd be able to place this right on top and it'd be perfectly covered. But I'm going to try and wing it. Let's see how close I can get. I'm probably going to just muck it all up, but that's okay. So my sentiment, thankful, grateful, blessed. Grab a D-size acrylic block. And if you are brand new to Paper Pumpkin, just a little FYI side note, your first Paper Pumpkin you receive will have a D-size acrylic block in it. So just an FYI, get a little bit of product along with your materials out of a Paper Pumpkin. If you're brand new and want to start somewhere, that's a great place to start. All right, so I'm eyeballing it. I have this lined up on my grid paper, and I'm gonna stamp it. What do you think? Here? We'll see. All right, I've committed. There's no going back now. Okay, and boom. Okay, let's see if it works. Let's see if it covers it. It works! Yay! See how you can't see the sentiment at all? Oh, I'm so proud of myself. And then when you pop it up, there it is. So cute! All right, one last thing with our finishing touches. I'm going to bring back in my fine tip liquid glue. And I'm going to adhere my silver Glimmer Paisley onto my card. And again, doesn't take a lot, just a couple dabs here and there is enough. Okay, put that right on here. And again, I'm going to take my ink pad, close it, and then I'm just going to set that right down on top just for a minute so that it has a little bit of weight, but not too much, so it sticks together. And while that's happening, I'm going to grab my, where are they? Here we go, my rhinestones. And I just have tiny little scraps left on these guys. But that's fine, because I just need, oh, are they already cut? Yeah. I just cut these little strips apart. They come in full strips on the edge, but I just needed them separated. Grab my paper piercer, pick one up, and then I'm going to put that right on either side of the bottom sentence, the bottom set of words. Yes. Lovely. Okay. So now that should be okay to go. I'm going to grab my dimensionals again. Turn this guy over, pop 2 on him. And we're almost done. Make sure you don't leave. I'm going to turn you guys around before we play our next set of games. Okay. And this just goes right up here. I love Paisleys and Posies. What do you guys think? Do you love this set? It's the same set we did on both cards today in session 1. Just a couple more items. Where are my mini glue dots? I put everything away. That's my problem. My desk is a mess now, though, which is totally okay. All right. Mini glue dot on the back of this little tiny flower. Now the pieces that I cut out of the Silver Glimmer, this piece I cut out of the Bermuda Bay, and then I used this piece to cut out my Silver Glimmer paper. And then the little accents, I used this little tiny flower guy. That's what this guy is right here. And then I used these two little teardrop shapes, which are off to the side here, and I'll adhere in a minute. So I'm going to put this flower there. And once again, with that fine tip liquid glue, I'm going to very carefully pick up these little guys. Just put a little dauble will do ya. And then put one in this corner. I'm going to hold it down for a second while I grab my other one and flip him over. Oh, that one kind of smeared a little bit. It's okay. We got it under control. And grab this guy. A little less, maybe. Really, it just takes a little dab. And then he goes right up there. Let those guys sit out and hang out. We are almost done. Janet says yes, but I do not have, and yes, I know. Hi, Maria. Thanks for joining. Yes, Paisleys and Posies. Super cute. It started in the holiday catalog, and I'll tell you guys, it is carrying over into the next catalog. So make sure you have time to get each, but I can't remember if the bundle price is offered in the carryover or if you have to purchase them separate. Right now in the holiday catalog, they're bundled as one and you save 10%. So just make sure that you pick it up sooner rather than later. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to double check if that price, the bundle price, is going to go away or not. I will double check and let you guys know in the comments below. Okay. There's our half easel card. What do you guys think? Are you going to try to make one? Do you like it? I think it's stinking cute. We have both of our little samples are right here. So cute. All right. I'm going to turn you guys around before we get on to the next two games. Oh my goodness. That brings Stamping Saturday Session 1 to a close. You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining me today and participating. Just a reminder, if you, in celebration of my 1-year Stampiversary, if you do place an order with me today using the hostess code that you saw earlier, I will also put it in this video with a link of where you need to go to shop. Place an order, any size order today, and you will be able to collect an additional $10 in Melissa's Creations cash when you redeem your rewards voucher. More information on that on melissascreations.com. Click on rewards. It's also in my very first blog post that you should see when you go to my website. If you're confused and you're not sure, go to my website, read about it. You can learn more there, or contact me and I would be happy to help you and discuss further on what exactly Melissa's Creations Cash is and how you can earn it. So let me show you the next couple of samples. Oh, this one is so cute. I just got in my UPS mail yesterday. I just got this set and I am so in love with it. I've been wanting it for a long time and I finally took the plunge and I did it. This is from the Weather Together stamp set. Well, it's a bundle. It comes with, you know, you can get it in a bundle with framelits, but this is the set. Isn't that gorgeous? This is going to be our first sample for session 2 at 3 p.m. Pacific this afternoon. So cute. The sentiment on it says, wishing you brighter days, and there is watercoloring. We use some watercolor paper on that. So much fun. I can't wait to show you guys how to make that this afternoon. And the second sample, the last sample of the day that I'll be doing after that, after this card, this afternoon at 3 p.m. is, now this is a picture card. There's no picture in it yet because I can't find my photos. So I'll try and put something in it so you guys can kind of get a better idea. But I had a customer request a special card, and this is what I came up with. So hopefully it'll work. But this is the card, and I know it's backwards, but this word up here says love. And we have some gorgeous glimmer paper on there. I don't know if you can see it shining, but this is a photo card because you can slide this portion out and you would adhere your photograph to this piece. And then it just slides back in so that they can have a really fun interactive card and still give a photo to their recipient. So stinking cute. How cute would this be for wedding invitations, you guys? I mean, right? Yes. So this is going to be our last sample of the day and our session 2 starting at 3 p.m. Okay. That concludes session 1. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you want to rewatch this, you can do so on my Facebook page after the video posts. You can also rewatch when I upload it to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/mcreations. I'll put links all over the place so you guys can get there. You can also find me on the contact me page on my website, melissascreations.com. Don't forget to place your order. You can do it anytime today, now, this afternoon, as long as you do it before 12 a.m. Pacific time tonight. You have until midnight tonight Pacific time to get that order in and qualify for those extra $10 in Melissa's Creations cash when you are ready to redeem your voucher. Remember, you need to get up to $250 before you're able to redeem a voucher, but you can take up to a year to earn that. So as long as you shop with me, you're golden. You can get there. Extra $10 in Melissa's Creations cash is waiting for you as long as you place your order today. Any size order. So, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Come back and join me for session 2 at 3 p.m. I am so excited about these next samples. I can't wait to show you guys how to make them. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.